Hello to all of my fellow real estate agents, brokers, and those interested in the real estate career. Today we're going to talk about things they didn't teach you in real estate school, part 3. So today we're going to talk about avoiding the real estate roller coaster. So I saw this picture I wanted to share. It says most people would call this a roller coaster. I call it life as a real estate agent. And there's two kinds of roller coasters we can get caught up on. One is going to be just the highs and lows of, you get that new buyer or seller and you're excited, and then plans change, and maybe they go with a different agent, or maybe they just go MIA. And so we can get in kind of like that emotional roller coaster. But the other roller coaster that we can get into is when we are generating leads and we start working with those buyers and sellers, and then we stop generating new leads. And then what inevitably happens is we get caught up in the day-to-day, and all of a sudden we have a few closings. It's great. And then we're looking at our pipeline and there's nothing in it. And so the 80-20 principle is true throughout most things in life. Even your closet. So like 80% of your clothes you're going to wear 20% of the time, 20% you're going to wear 80% of the time. And so it's true in real estate too. So 80% of what we do is going to be generate 20% of our income, 20%, very little of what we do time wise is going to produce the maximum amount of results and revenue. And so I found this because we're going to talk about lead generation. And the secret is there is no secret. Consistency over intensity, progress over perfection, fundamentals over fads, over and over again. And I thought that was a very appropriate quote for real estate. So lead generation, what is lead generation? There's many, many different types. I think that I have a list actually. You reach out of different lead generation strategies based on personality types, which I think is really important to make sure that it's something that resonates with us. And remember that without leads, like, we don't have a business, right? So we have to be in communication with people many times for years before they are ready to actually make a move. And so staying in touch systematically with people, and also asking questions. One, I'm sure if you're have been doing this very long, it's because you care about people. And a lot of times where they need our services is in conjunction with a life event. So keeping our eyes and ears out for those life events, whether that is maybe they're adding to their family, maybe the empty nesters, retirement, relocation, deployment. We can have, engagements, divorces, all kinds of things can bring a move. So we want to be making sure that, we're genuinely caring about people, and also, keeping our eyes and ears out for how we may be able to help them in the future. And so, of course, CRM, we had talked about that before. I really recommend that you're keeping everyone you're communicating with regularly in some type of systematized, whether that's an Excel spreadsheet, a CRM, like we use Lofty, or however that you can keep track of people. Okay. And if you need help with that, if you need help with anything, definitely always feel free to reach out. But it definitely, you want to have one place where you're putting everybody. And we kind of talked about that in a previous week. But the second is going to be every day. The biggest part of this is literally the biggest part of your job. Okay. Because going on appointments, having closing is great. But if we're not doing this part, then that part is not going to happen. So spending 30 minutes preparing, that way, you know who you're reaching out to and how you're reaching out to them. And then 2 hours of reaching out to people per day. And then this is very important. Keep a separate notepad or however you make notes, a to-do list. I really like Microsoft To Do. It's super simple. But it helps me to just like throw things on a to-do list, which is going to be your 30 minutes of follow-up. And if You're going to have to sometimes prioritize that because you may have more than 30 minutes. But even if you spend that 30 minutes putting things on your to-do list so that you can follow up outside of your time where you're really going to be focused on communicating with the people that you know and adding value. We always want to add value to everyone that we communicate with. And everybody is curious right now about how the market is. It's a great time to have those conversations and stay in touch. So I will see you guys next week. We're going to talk about finding someone that you can partner with to, make sure that you're reaching your goals. So I will see you then.